Conferences, A Journey to Innovation. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another story about conferences. My name is James, and today I'm going to share with you a new experience I had attending a conference. Conferences are amazing opportunities to learn, connect with others, and discover new ideas. They bring people together from all kinds of places to talk about things that matter. Last time, I told you about my first conference, the annual sales summit in Lake City. This time, I'll tell you about a different one, a bigger event that happened in a city called Brightwell. It was a weekend full of surprises, challenges, and growth. I hope you enjoy listening. Let's get started. A few weeks after my first conference, my manager, Ms. Carter, called me into her office again. I work at Office Comfort Company, a company that makes office furniture, and I'm part of the sales team. James, she said, there's another conference coming up. It's called the Brightwell Innovation Forum. It's about new trends in business and technology. I think it'd be great for you to go. I was thrilled. The first conference had been a success, and I was eager to try another one. Ms. Carter said the company would cover the costs again, travel, hotel, and the registration fee. My job was to sign up and get ready. The Brightwell Innovation Forum was a 3-day event from Friday to Sunday. Brightwell is a big city, about 4 hours away by train. The conference sounded exciting. It promised talks from famous speakers, workshops, and a technology showcase. I went to my desk and opened my laptop to register. The website was professional, with a banner that said, Brightwell Innovation Forum, Shape the Future. I clicked on Register Now and filled out the form. It asked for my name, James Wilson, my job title, company, and email. The fee was higher this time, $200, because it was a bigger event. I used the company credit card, submitted the form, and got a confirmation email. It said, See you in Brightwell, James. Your registration is confirmed. Next, I planned my travel. The conference started at 10 a.m. on Friday, so I needed to arrive early. I checked the train schedule online. There was a train leaving at 5 a.m., arriving in Brightwell at 9 a.m. It was early, but it would get me there on time. I booked a round-trip ticket, $50 each way, so $100 total. The ticket came as an email attachment, and I saved it on my phone. I'd leave Friday morning and return Sunday afternoon after the conference ended. Then I needed a hotel. The conference website had a list of nearby places. I chose one called Brightwell Central Hotel because it was close to the event venue, just a 5-minute walk. I visited their website and saw they had standard rooms for $110 per night. I booked it for 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The total was $330, plus a small tax. I entered the company card details and got a confirmation email that said, Welcome to Brightwell Central Hotel, James. Check-in starts at 2 p.m. I'd have to check in after the first day, but that was fine. Packing was my next step. 3 days meant more clothes than my last trip. I packed a suit for the conference, 2 shirts, casual clothes for the hotel, and pajamas. The weather in Brightwell was warm, around 22 degrees Celsius, but I added a light jacket just in case. I also packed my laptop, a notebook, pens, my phone charger, and some snacks for the train. Miss Carter asked me to take detailed notes again, so I made sure I had everything I needed. My suitcase was small but full by the time I finished. Friday morning came quickly. I woke up at 4 a.m., got dressed, and took a taxi to the train station. The train left at 5 a.m., and I found my seat near a window. It was still dark outside, so I closed my eyes for a while. The ride took 4 hours, and I arrived in Brightwell at 9 a.m. The station was busy, with people rushing around. I took a taxi to the conference venue, a huge building called the Brightwell Convention Center. It had tall glass walls and a sign that said, Brightwell Innovation Forum, Welcome. I walked inside and found the registration desk. There was a short line, and everyone looked professional, suits, briefcases, and name tags. When it was my turn, I said, "Hi, I'm James Wilson. I registered online." The man at the desk checked his tablet and nodded. "Here you go," he said. He gave me a name tag, a thick program booklet, and a tote bag with a water bottle and some papers. "The opening session is at 10 a.m. in the main hall," he added. I thanked him, pinned on my name tag, and looked around. The place was buzzing with energy. The main hall was huge, with hundreds of chairs and a big stage. I found a seat near the back and waited. At 10 a.m., the lights dimmed, and a woman walked on stage. "Welcome to the Brightwell Innovation Forum," she said. "I'm Dr. Emily Chen, your host." She talked about the schedule, 3 days of talks, workshops, and networking. I opened my program and saw sessions like Tech Tools for Sales and Future of Marketing. The opening speech lasted 30 minutes, and I wrote down a few key points, like innovation drives success. The first session I attended was at 11 a.m., called Tech Tools for Sales. It was in a smaller room with about 50 people. The speaker, Mr. Patel, showed us software that tracks customer orders. "This can save you hours," he said. I took notes, names of apps like SalesFlow and tips like use data to find new clients. The session ended at 12:30 p.m., and I felt inspired. I could use some of these ideas at work. Lunch was served from 12:30 to 2 p.m. in a big dining area. They had a buffet with pasta, chicken, salad, and desserts. I took some pasta and a drink and sat at a round table. A man next to me said, "Hi, I'm Mark. First time here?" I said yes and told him I worked in sales. He was a manager at a tech company. We talked about the morning session, and he gave me his business card. "Let's keep in touch," he said. I added his card to my collection. It was my second time networking, and I was getting better at it. The afternoon had a workshop at 2 p.m. called Building a Sales Plan. It was hands-on. We sat in groups and made sample plans. My group had 4 people, including me. We wrote down goals like increase sales by 10% and steps like call 20 clients a week. The leader walked around and gave advice. It lasted 2 hours, and I learned a lot about planning. By 4 p.m., I was tired, so I decided to check into the hotel. I walked to Brightwell Central Hotel and arrived at 4:15 p.m. The lobby was modern, with shiny floors and a big desk. I said, "Hi, I'm James Wilson. I have a reservation." The receptionist checked her computer and handed me a key card for room 712. "Enjoy your stay," she said. The room was clean and bright, with a double bed, a desk, a TV, and a view of the city. I unpacked, took a quick shower, and rested. It had been a long morning. That evening, there was a reception at 6 p.m. back at the conference center. I went and saw tables with drinks and snacks. I talked to a woman named Sarah, who worked in advertising. She said, "This conference is great for ideas." We chatted about our jobs, and I got another business card. By 8 p.m., I returned to the hotel, watched some TV, and went to bed. Saturday started at 8 a.m. with breakfast at the hotel, eggs, toast, and coffee. I walked to the conference and went to a 9 a.m. session, Future of Marketing. The speaker talked about social media ads. "Be creative," she said. I wrote down tips like use short videos and post every day. It ended at 10:30 a.m., and I attended another session at 11 a.m. about customer feedback. The speaker said, "Listen to your clients, they'll tell you what they want." I added that to my notes. At lunch, I had a small problem. I lost my name tag. I went to the registration desk and said, "Hi, I'm James Wilson. I lost my tag." The staff printed a new one in 5 minutes. "No problem," they said. I was impressed with how fast they handled it. After lunch, I joined a workshop on teamwork. We did exercises like solving a pretend sales problem together. It was fun and useful. Sunday was the last day. I went to a 10 a.m. session about new technology trends, things like virtual meetings. The speaker said, "Tech is changing how we work." I took more notes. The conference ended at noon with a closing speech. Dr. Chin said, "Thank you for joining us. Take these ideas and use them." I clapped and felt proud. I took a 1 p.m. train home, arriving at 5 p.m. On Monday, I showed Ms. Carter my notes. She loved the tech and marketing ideas. "Great job, James," she said. "This conference was bigger and busier than the first one, but just as valuable." Conferences teach you so much if you're open to learning. That's my second conference story. I hope you liked it. Have you thought about going to a conference? They're full of surprises. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.